Whether this is your first time of writing UI-PUTME or you've written UI-PUTME several times, this video is definitely for you. My name is Mubarak and I'm a fourth-year medical student of the University of Ibadan. In this video, I'll be telling you important things to know about the University of Ibadan post-UTME exam, or things you need to know before writing your post-UTME exam. The last time I checked, according to the memo released by the university management, the exam is scheduled to hold on the 16th of September. That means the 2 weeks away. Means that you have 2 weeks. So this, I don't think this is the first time. This is the best time for me to tell you that this is what you need to read. This is how to prepare for exam, or this what you need to do. But there are important things you need to know about the exam. First of all, you have more than enough time for the exam, because in the exam you're expected to answer 100 questions within 90 minutes, meaning that for each question you add 53 seconds. Unlike your UTM exam, you're expected to answer 180 questions within 120 minutes, meaning that you add 40 seconds per question for that, and now you add about 26 seconds per question, meaning that you have more than enough time to attempt each question. Another thing you need to know about your exam is that although your exam is very simple, but yet it is technical. What I mean by technicality is that in this exam, you are not expected to get the answers, but you're expected to pick the most appropriate options. There are situations where you have more than one answer in a question. Maybe you have 2 or 3 answers, but one will obviously be more appropriate than the others. Meaning that you are expected to answer to pick the appropriate. This applies mostly to subject biology. Those ones that you know that they can just have diverse answers. They can have diverse answers, but they are non-calculation. Let's have a question. You need to be very careful, and you need to know your height. Like, you need to know what to pick. Another thing important you need to know about exam is that aside testing for your speed, you need to be as accurate as possible. It is not just about speed; it is also about accuracy. You might answer everything and have less than 50, and you might answer 90 questions and have as high as 85. Last year, a distant relative of mine had the highest overall in UI-PUTME exam. He had 95. I've seen students have 93. I've seen someone with 92. I've seen 91s. I've seen several 90s. Meaning that if these people can have as high as this, meaning that you can have that your dream score, maybe your dream score is 80 or 70, because this exam you are not just writing to pass, you are doing it to get to the desired course. You are assigned for a course like medicine, law, computer science, pharmacy, communication and language arts, some courses in faculty of technology. You are competing against students like you, meaning that you need to have a better score, even though you might have had a good UTME score. You still need a good post-UTME score for you to meet up with the cut-off mark. So aside from the speed, you need to be as accurate as possible. Another important thing I always tell students is that you need to be confident. Be as confident as expected. Go in your full force. I remember that when I wrote my last post-UTME exam, I was 100% confident to the extent that I think the footwear I wore was about 40. I don't know. I was just like, I just wanted to feel on top of the world. And I did that. And I was like, what is that one thing that can just make me feel high? And I feel, oh, stepping on this kind of footwear, it was a wrestle routine. Then I believe that, oh, this would give me the confidence I needed. And I was so much confidence right from the exam. Another important thing we need to know is that even though when I wrote my exam, I was still doing the paper and pencil test mode. But even though now the exam did not really change, or what you expect to answer. The students I've met over the years, they let me know that you are now do things like setting questions and putting a high. All these things are just to take more of your time. If you really know what you are doing and you are good with elimination, I believe that this is even much more easier for you to answer compared to having just your multiple choice question type or just your ABCD. I believe that if you know what you are doing and you are confident enough, you should be able to overcome that. Another important thing you need to know is that This exam, you are not just writing to pass. You are competing against thousands of Nigerian students, thousands of smart students, and you need to beat the required cut-off mark of your score. I've seen students miss the admission with scores as high as 90, as high as 75, 76, 70 plus, and they end up not just getting admitted. Not because if they had picked other courses, they would not have been. You need to understand that this post-UTME exam carries 50% of the total mark, and your UTME score carries 50%. I will always tell students before picking a course, or even though it might be late by now, need to form as closed. You need to know that your UTME, the aggregate is calculated based on your UTME divided by 8 and your post-UTME divided by 2. The higher UTME score, the better your chances. And if your UTME score is lower compared to your, you need to know that you need a better post-UTME score for you to gain admission. To be very honest, I believed you are going to do well, and I'll be rooting for you. Just keep reading, keep studying hard. Another important thing you need to know is that don't be deceived. I will always tell students, never go to that exam hall. I repeat, and I am intentionally pointing, never go to that examination hall without solving UI practice questions. It has worked over the years and it will keep working. Solve the practice questions. Ensure that you know the answers to all the practice. I remember when I was writing my exam. In fact, I studied the practice questions to the extent that the questions that came out from the practice questions, I didn't have to solve them, the ones that involved calculation, because I knew the questions with their options, with the answers. I knew every character, every word of each of the questions. So I was just confident. I can still remember a question was on enthalpy. The answer was 1680 kilojoule. It is still as fresh in my head as I now. I can still remember several of the questions that come on. There was a question on Professor Peter worked towards a mirror in physics. Even though I've written the exam, even though I've written the exam since maybe 2019, 5 years ago, but I can still remember the questions for you to know how much I prepare with these practice questions. So never solve questions. They said questions, not answers, create knowledge. The more the questions you solve, the better you become. Aside reading, make sure you solve questions, solve practice questions, solve questions. And I will always recommend to students to solve questions of some other schools. Like for example, according to my research, I realized that UI repeats questions from University of EU because UI repeats term standard questions as well for most of the questions, aside from English, where they go to X standard. So when you solve questions from maybe the previous years, it makes you more prepared, and also this solving past question makes you much more prepared and makes you. So I'll be waiting for you.